Alright, so we are just recovering from a disconnection here in the middle of our run through Exonym's levels. We were at checkpoint 1 in Searing Riptide, and I think we probably lost about a minute or two previously. But thanks for sticking around if you have been able to reconnect and stay. And we'll continue from this point for at least a little bit. I mean, we've been running a bit long at this point anyway, so I won't be continuing for too much, but we'll try to at least wrap up this level and see if we can tag anything else on the end of that. So let's just continue for now, and hopefully we don't have too many issues. I think it was just an ISP problem. It happens pretty rarely, but occasionally we have a total catastrophic disconnection, and we just try to notice it and recover it from it gracefully. We hadn't really progressed very far in this part of the level anyway. We're mostly just talking about Zelda. I was about to say something about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I think, when we had the previous disconnection, because that was one of the last things that showed up in chat. No, I was starting to talk about how much those were kind of dream games for me in some ways, because we are just extremely bad at following instructions and like to push towards the corner of the map whenever possible and see what we're allowed to do. It turns out in those games they say, okay, you're allowed to do most things, although yeah, just going to be a bit of back and forth here. We're still trying to adjust between the black pennants and the red ones. Yeah, I saw when I was switching over to chat on my mobile to handle the disconnection that you asked about speedrunning. I'm definitely not a speedrunner, but that's partly because, you know, it's kind of my temperament to play slowly and observe things, but I've always kind of liked the technical research side of speedrunning, where people figure out routes and figure out techniques and such, and sort of do the research that's involved. I find that to be a very fascinating part of the process. I just don't really execute that myself because I am not a very consistent player from one attempt to the next, and I think you kind of have to be to really learn how to grind away at a time. And so I like watching a lot of speedrunning. It's something I've been aware of for a long time, ever since actually, one of the first games I really watched a speedrunning scene for would have been Metroid Prime, back when it was quite active, because I knew a couple of people who were introducing me to things like the big sequence breaks. And it's still fun to, you know, break games and find shortcuts and everything, but I find that I don't necessarily want to do it repeatedly and on a timer. So I'm fine with speedrunning being mostly a spectator experience for me. But yeah, I definitely like the element of just messing around with video games to see what you're allowed to do, and yeah, so just a bit of pullback here and forward. So we can see the back and forth that has to happen here, but then it's going to be manipulated a little bit by the slope that we see directly afterwards. Yeah, so speedrunning is not really that much of a natural fit for my abilities, but it's always interesting to see what people come up with, though, when the brick game is wide open. And yeah, you also find routing and glitch hunting more fun. Yeah, I think, you know, people have to know what their limits are and what they want to specialize in. I don't think I would describe myself as particularly good at Mario, but I think it's one of those things where, you know, if you are in the community for long enough, you realize just how good other people can be. For example, one of the things that, if you're following Maker 1, is currently ongoing is what they call Team 0%, where they I have a group of streamers who have been trying to clear every remaining uncleared level in Mario Maker 1 before it goes down. And as I understand it, they've gotten to within about 2,500 left or something, so they're totally on pace to finish it this month, which is incredible. But of course, you know, these are players who really kind of have a method nailed down, and also the technique that would be required to work on uncleared material. And I've definitely been trawling through some of their streams as well, since that's kind of the main thing that seems to be going on with Maker 1 currently, from other people on Twitch. And yeah, it would not be a good use of my time to try to join that effort, unfortunately. I'm very impressed by what we're doing, but I don't think I would make a meaningful contribution. So, Mario Audio. Mario Audio. Are we having some troubles? Or... So I'm not seeing it from my end, but I can do a quick reset just to be absolutely clear. So you have 2 uncleared levels left, so you follow Team 0 from the sidelines. Oh, does that include the 37 mid-airs, or what you were mentioning earlier? Anyway, let's fix it up quickly since we're trying to repair the whole stream anyway. So give me one moment. Yeah, if it's happening intermittently, that means something will probably fail, so let's fix it now. Okay, hopefully working fine now. Again, let me know if there are any major synchronization issues or pitch issues or anything else that might be a sign of trouble. Again, we'll see how quickly I clear this one. I don't know that I'll be able to stay much longer past this level today, but we'll try to keep things going for a little bit since I took the time to reconnect and you folks took the time to stay. And Aki Satsuna, you said you completed 2 of the 0% in your early streams because you cheesed them hard, yeah. I mean, I guess if they were submitted as viewer levels, then at least it's not a total unknown that you don't have any guidance with. It might just be something that didn't have a lot of place, but... yeah, hitting the ceiling quite a bit here. We just need to sort of get the back and forth pattern. If the wall clip levels are still up, that's something I can devote my time to. Oh, that reminds me, yeah, I don't really know the wall clip mechanics in this game so much, and we actually ran into a wall clip one-screen puzzle last week that I couldn't actually figure out. So, if you know something about wall clips, or where I could learn about the way that the wall clip mechanics work in Maker 1, we should look into that, because that's one thing that we've kind of run into already. It's not unclear. It was actually quite heavily starred by people who knew what to do with it. But it was also self-evident that it had to involve the wall clip in some way. So we just didn't know how to trigger it. So that's something we'll possibly go back to if some insight occurs to me. Again, I have to pull back a bit more on the second volley here. Oh, whoops. I was trying to spin and I just slipped off the pipe. Yeah, Yeah, so we'll see if it's just this second segment. Given how entity heavy it is, I assume that it is just 2 segments, but we never know. Vertical clips are more technical, but the levels you're referring to just need timing, patience, and luck. I see. Oh, as in you just need a very specific entry point or something. Yeah. I mean, at this point, I think it's pretty clear to me that it actually seems pretty likely that Team 0% is going to get it done, but it'll be interesting when we see what the holdouts are. Whether that includes something like your, 37 mid-air level. I don't know why I'm just missing the jump here. We will definitely try to clear this today, or we will have to start over the first segment next time, because I'm not going to leave my Wii U on suspend all weekend. So we'll definitely try to get this done. You need to press jump when you hit a wall and it's frame perfect, and you need to do 150 times. Okay, I can see why that would still be uncleared, yes. Okay, I need to use some short bounces here to reposition myself. It's pretty clear to me here that we can't just high bounce through absolutely everything while the low ceiling is still in effect. Because we do need to do a bit of timing adjustment as we go. Well, we don't want to stay that low, though. When we adjust from the black volley to the red volley, we do want to give ourselves a bit of space. Yeah, in general, I think, probably the thing I'm worst at in Mario Maker is stuff like the really tight precision, where you need something frame perfect or pixel perfect, and so... I mean, that is a skill set. There are some people who really know how to grind that out, but... I find often that I get sick of it quickly because there just isn't that much to look at from the perspective of level design, which is how we usually like to approach this game, though. Oh, I was trying to do an extra adjustment bounce there. That almost looked alright. Like, we got as far as seeing the blasters go up the slope that time, which is progress. It was further than we usually get. You just kind of need to develop a rhythm for when to go back and forth. Yeah, and then also knowing when it is not safe to try to bounce an additional time. Let's keep going. And then, yeah, high bounce is off the right one for sure. And high bounce usually with a little bit of pullback as well. We found a pretty good pocket of timing on the more successful attempt earlier. We just need to recover that somehow. Yeah, standing a bit too close. We do need to develop a bit of a visual sense for how far the pullback should go. And particularly because the upward slope later is going to disrupt things ever so slightly. Yeah, you pulled back a bit. That was too far that time. Half and half do not improve the flow, no. We are finding somewhat of a rhythm for it, though. Oh, we got it off screen that time, I think. Yeah, we pulled back a little too far, and we extended the delay, which was unfortunate. Yeah, we definitely had to pull off too far to the screen boundary that time. We actually found pretty comfortable timing that time in terms of just regaining momentum going forward. And then, yeah, it goes off screen at that point if we pull too far back, so need to push forward aggressively a little bit there. We're starting to hit the alternation much more successfully than we did before, though, so that's a sign of progress. Whoops, too close. Yeah, it's about 3 tiles back, I think. Now we pull back and then forward, but keep it on screen. Yeah. That's a tricky bit there because it's just about to spill off the track on the right side, and so we're pulling back quite like that. We are at risk of increasing the delay. Once again, let's remember high bounce on the right side. We're dying a lot, but the attempts are also long because of the initial setup time that you see in each segment, so. Pull back a little bit. Forward. And then forward, yeah, good. And then, oh, yeah, I didn't think about how the projectiles would stop against the spikes. I was thinking, okay, I guess we have to go over the spike column, and I completely forgot that the projectiles also stop. And get the spiny form over there. I mean, you know, seeing that for the first time, we needed to adjust, but we're starting to learn it, though. Well, more or less. But I found that doing the short bounces on the left side allowed me to do a bit of timing adjustment that made it more comfortable to go back from the right to the left. So we just need to get back into doing that. Well, not like that. And we'll just continue. Not quite, but we'll get there. Unlike SMB3, we do get to crouch in this style as Small Mario and make one. Once again, let's go high. I guess it does require a little bit of concentration just to, you know, apply the method that we had already worked out and done somewhat successfully. So, let's see if we can make it happen. Pull back. Yeah, I was trying to push forward to make sure we stay far forward enough to keep the blaster on screen, but that time we slightly overcompensated. Because once it goes that far to the right, I start thinking that the delay is going to be an issue. And again, we want a bit of a later bounce on the right side segment to get a timing to line up. Basically, we want as much of the projectiles to be down on the level already before we jump over. There we go. Nope. Shouldn't have done that extra bounce there. We actually had a good timing that we ruined. Alright, let's wait for this one. Too late. Yeah, we found a solid pattern earlier. Let's see if we can cover it. Okay, good. In fact, we can see exactly how it lines up. We're quite... Yeah, the mushroom is just there to give you a normalized check at checkpoint 2, and then shell ride. Okay, I didn't know what was going to happen here, so... Yeah, we just needed to find that pocket, and then suddenly it was doable. Okay, so the overlap actually does work here. I mean, obviously we can't hit the grinders, but we want that shell momentum. Yeah, we can't just ride this forward, but I think the arrows... Well, I don't know if I should trust the artwork here when it comes to the overlap, but we should have at least one attempt where I just try to ride this forward and see if I... Yeah, no, this is safe. This is safe. Spin jump over here. Now, spin jump is going to be tricky here because when you get to the other side of the spin jump, you're going to start knocking out shells. I feel like you kind of need to knock out all 7 shells one by one to make it to the end after that. But we'll see. Look at that. Hit the Koopa, didn't hit the Spiny. Well, it just took some time. Well, it pulled back a little bit too much. You're saying no about something? Did I misread something? Oh, no. Okay, no, I totally misread something. Yeah, no, I was not thinking about shellmets, I was... Yeah. Let's do this again. Yeah, I was still thinking about, like, actual buzzies rather than shellmets in a spinning form. We've done enough shell ride levels that we notice by now. It's just... But sometimes things get a little bit scrambled when you're in the midst of playing. Okay. Okay, we don't want to pull back at all in that jump. Going fully forward is actually fine. And then that seems to cover quite a bit of distance. That should be reasonably close to clear, but what's going to fire here? Oh, cheap galore. I think we need to let them go over. Actually, I think this is just, you know, we have entities left over, so we're going to make this spectacular rolling stack that just looks really, really pretty. Just to, you know, give you proper time to enjoy it until you're in this segment where you actually do need to platform somewhat accurately. Somewhat accurately. There we go. Oh, that looked beautiful. Haven't you all seen Sip's famous level in Circuit Mario? Is that another 0%, or is that something that's been taken care of by now? But anyway, thank you so much for GG's. Unable to find a Wi-Fi network. Oh, okay, so no, I think I know what happened here. My computer successfully reconnected earlier, and my Wii U didn't, so we actually didn't even get the clear stamp on this, I think. Because I feel like maybe the Wii U didn't reconnect when we had the issue just now. Let me see if we can get back into Course World. And or if it's just going to kick me out. Okay, so we're back. Yeah, we didn't get clear on this. I'm not going to do it right now. I might just do it off stream or something, but you know, you saw it clear, even if it was split over a disconnection in 2 segments. And in a couple of months, this won't matter anyway. That was a lot of fun, though. I really enjoyed that one. In spite of how much trouble we had initially, like it felt like when we eventually cleared things, it was because I had developed a pattern and I had developed an approach, and it wasn't just benefiting from luck or dying to randomness. And it's kind of always satisfying when you see something like that and manage it. And then the finale was great too. So, it's still early enough that we can stay for a few more. Let me see. We're not going to get through the whole list today, unfortunately, but we'll see. Yeah, we've got a couple of levels left, but we'll do maybe at least one more. Possibly 2, depending on the clear rates that we're seeing here. Oh, no, we still have disconnection issues. On the other hand, if we have connection issues, we will not be able to do this, so. Hang on. Well, so, yeah, if we still have rampant connection issues, I will have to probably close up for today, but let me just see what's going on. Because I wonder if the Course World would just cache from an earlier connection or something. If I've just been kicked off. Yeah, I've been kicked off fully now. So, 1 second. I guess with the Wii U, I might actually have to get out of here. Yeah, unfortunately, this is really too bad. I was hoping to continue, but now it's just not even letting me back into the Course World. So I think it was just caching the level list from earlier. And that's... I don't know if this will require like a restart or a reconfigure or something, but it might be wiser to end today instead, so that's too bad. But that's okay. We will be playing lots more of Maker 1 in the weeks ahead. Next week, I might be on a slightly sparser schedule than usual, partly because of some outside commitments and partly because I'll be playing some of the Stormgate beta in Steam Next Fest. I probably won't be able to stream that, but for various technical reasons, but we will mainly still be kicking around with Mario Maker 1 until the shutdown, though. It's going to be our regular program week to week, and I'm actually putting off a couple of other things to make room for it. So thank you for joining me, especially if you came back for the disconnection, and it's really too bad that we'll have to end at this point, but we'll finish Exonym's levels in the next session for sure, and I do have a couple of makers lined up after that, and also some suggestions and codes that we've received today that we'll be following up on afterwards. So thank you so much for joining me. Lots to come, as much as we can make time for before everything just goes kaput. And yeah, Sepet SMM, I hope you get a chance to see a clear on 37 mid-airs. I don't even want to imagine how long the clear check took you on that one, but maybe you're just very good at this. And thank you, Aki Sasuna, again for the raid, and Bonafide Pirate for being with us from the very, very beginning. And we'll send you folks somewhere else for now, and hopefully things don't collapse so catastrophically next stream. But hey, we got the clear, and that's what counts. Thanks for watching, and until we are back for more, we'll probably be doing Maker 2 viewer levels tomorrow as usual, but once time gets really crunched, we may even have to cut back from that for more Maker 1. But the plan is to do Maker 2 and then go back to Maker 1 next week. Until then, have a wonderful weekend ahead of you with everything you may be playing or watching. And we will send you on to somewhere interesting. Probably more Mario, but we'll see in just a moment. Have fun. And, as always, fare thee well.